The plane roared down the runway, engines screaming in defiance of gravity, but in that tiny cabin, a storm was brewing far darker than turbulence. Naomi Carter clutched her 5-year-old twins, Elijah and Zoe, pressing their small bodies to her chest as tears burned in her eyes. She had built an empire from nothing, rising to become the CEO of a thriving tech company, a symbol of resilience and triumph. Yet, nothing in her life had prepared her for the humiliating, horrifying moment that would unfold mid-flight. The flight crew, driven by some unspoken prejudice, shoved her children violently, their tiny bodies tumbling across the aisle. Naomi's heart shattered with every cry, every gasp of her babies. Minutes later, the world would see justice, but at that moment, she felt powerless, exposed, and raw with anger and sorrow. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and standing up for what is right, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Naomi's mind raced, a storm of disbelief and fury. How could people trained to care for passengers descend into cruelty? Her twins, trembling, hugged each other as if their tiny embrace could shield them from the injustice of adults. The cabin felt like a cage. Passengers whispered, some frozen in shock, others pretending not to see. Naomi rose, her voice firm but trembling, confronting the crew, but they dismissed her, their arrogance thick in the recycled air. Each second stretched endlessly, every heartbeat hammering with dread. Memories of her children's first steps, first words, and bedtime stories collided with this harrowing moment. She had worked tirelessly, not just for her own success, but to give Elijah and Zoe a world free from fear, free from shame. Yet here it was, a nightmare, unfolding thousands of feet above the earth. She held on to them, whispering promises of safety, of justice, of love, even as the cabin crew continued their cruelty. The captain, oblivious or indifferent, seemed frozen in inaction. Naomi's professional composure, honed over decades, threatened to crack entirely. Her mind flashed to her own childhood, where prejudice and dismissal had often colored her life, and now history was repeating itself in the most grotesque, unimaginable way. Around her, a growing murmur of anger and outrage began to ripple through passengers, a wave of human empathy slowly breaking the icy grip of the crew's arrogance. The twins, their small bodies shaking with fright, clung to her. Naomi's rage transformed into resolve. She knew she couldn't let this injustice pass unchallenged. Pulling out her phone, she began recording, her hands steady despite the adrenaline flooding her system. Each frame captured the truth: her children, innocent and scared, and the flight attendants, unrepentant, blinded by bias. The hum of the engines, the steady flight, all seemed irrelevant compared to the moral storm erupting inside that cabin. She thought about her board members, her employees, the millions who believed in her, and she realized that this wasn't just about her children, it was about every person who had been dismissed, marginalized, or silenced. Minutes felt like hours. Naomi's recording went live, spreading across social media faster than the plane could traverse the sky. Passengers, emboldened, began speaking up, documenting what they saw. The narrative shifted, the power balance tipping as outrage swelled beyond the confines of the airplane. Back on the ground, the airline's management watched in horror as the video went viral, igniting a storm of public fury. Every boardroom meeting, every PR statement, every attempt to downplay the incident collapsed under the weight of undeniable truth. Naomi, still holding her twins, felt a strange mixture of exhaustion and vindication. She had captured the cruelty, but she had also captured resilience. Within hours, the airline announced an emergency shutdown. Licenses were suspended, flights grounded indefinitely. Investigations were launched, accountability demanded at every level. Naomi's story became a beacon, a stark reminder that courage could ripple into change. Her twins, once terrified, began to sense the shift, their tears replaced slowly by cautious smiles as Naomi whispered that they were safe now. The world had seen what injustice looked like, and more importantly, it had witnessed what courage and persistence could achieve. Naomi reflected on her journey, the countless obstacles she had faced as a black woman in a world still riddled with prejudice, and she realized that even moments of pain could catalyze change. Her children had suffered in that moment, but their mother's unwavering resolve had transformed terror into triumph. Each press article, each social media post, each heartfelt comment from strangers felt like a patch in the tapestry of healing. And though the scars would remain, the story of the twins and their mother became an emblem of hope, a testament to the power of standing firm when the world seems to turn its back. If this story touched your heart, please engage with this video, share it, like it, comment, and remind the world that courage and kindness can indeed change lives. And before you go, leave a comment sharing one moment in your life when you stood up for what was right, no matter the odds. Naomi hugged Elijah and Zoe tightly as they finally stepped off the plane, her heart heavy but hopeful. Every tear shed, every shiver endured, had led to this moment, a moment where justice was undeniable, where a family's pain had sparked transformation, and where the courage of one mother had changed the fate of many. And as the sun set, casting a golden glow over the tarmac, Naomi whispered to her children, "You are safe. You are loved. And you will always be stronger than fear."